Hi everyone, my name is Wisanthi. Welcome to my channel. I'm a student dietitian and a university qualified nutritionist. Today I'd like to talk to you about bone health for women in perimenopause or menopausal ages. Please note that I'm giving general healthy eating advice and this doesn't replace an individual dietary advice. So for most people, as we get older, we lose our bone density. For us women, it's a double whammy because as we go through menopause, we lose our estrogen levels decline. So the estrogen hormones help prevent the bone remodeling process. So what that means is the bone breakdown is slowed by estrogen hormones. Now, when we lose the estrogen hormone levels, that quickens the pace of bone remodeling and bone loss. And that disturbs the integrity of the bones, and that makes it a lot fragile and easy to break. If you go through menopause early, this bone density loss becomes a lot quicker for you, and you are at risk of developing osteopenia or osteoporosis. Osteopenia basically means low bone density. Your bones are holding less minerals and they become less dense and more fragile. That makes it easier for breaks. Osteopenia is not as severe as osteoporosis, which is more serious and it is a long-term disease. People often don't know that they have these conditions because they find out only when they break their bones, just from small things like a knock, a slip, or falling from a standing height. Osteoporosis have other symptoms that you can watch out for. One, if you lose height slowly, that means over the years you notice that you are getting shorter. Two, back pain. Or three, tiny cracks in your bones called stress fractures. They feel like joint or muscle pain. So in the description box below, I have put a link to an online self-assessment tool called the Bone Health Assessment Tool to check whether you are at risk of developing osteoporosis. It's developed by Garvan Institute of Medical Research and Healthy Bone Australia. Now there are a few lifestyle changes that you can make to make your bones healthy, to keep your bones healthy and minimize bone loss. One is to get enough calcium. Two, get enough vitamin D. Three, stay active and do weight-bearing exercises like jogging, brisk walking, climbing stairs, or even dancing. Four, stop smoking. Five, reduce alcohol intake. Now, vitamin D you get mainly from the sun, but you can also get from food, but that's quite minimal. In this video, I'll be talking about calcium because that's the main mineral for your bones. Calcium is essential to build and maintain healthy bones. Calcium and other minerals form hard crystals that gives strength and structure to your bones. So your bones act like a bank for calcium. So we have 99% of our body's calcium stored in the bones. So what happens is when your body needs calcium for other functions like muscle or other organs like heart, they need to draw all this calcium from your bones. And what happens when you don't eat enough calcium? That means that your body will still keep getting all this calcium from your bones, but you don't have enough, you're not getting enough calcium to replace them. That means that your bones will lose their density and then their strength and integrity will be affected and they become fragile. So we like to encourage getting calcium from our food sources because that way we get our calcium slowly and more balanced throughout the day. Calcium content is different in all foods, so my recommendation is to have calcium-rich foods on a regular basis as part of your normal diet. Now there are three foods that are high in calcium. One is dairy foods. So in Western diets, dairy foods are quite common and it's a main source of calcium and it's easily absorbable, so it's great. So milk, yogurt, hard cheeses, they are all high in calcium. The other one is calcium-fortified plant milks. So if you don't like dairy, or if you can't have it, if you can't tolerate dairy, you can have plant-based milk like oat milk, rice milk, soy milk, almond milk. Now you just want to make sure that those milks are supplemented or fortified with calcium, because naturally they are not high in calcium. The third one is fish. Small fish with bones that you can eat, because calcium is quite high in the bones. So things like canned sardines and salmon with bones, they are great. You have to eat the bones. They are great calcium sources. For us Burmese people and in many other cultures, we like to fry the small fish, and they get crispy and crunchy, and it's delicious, and we eat the bones. So that's how you can easily get calcium. Now there are other foods that are relatively high in calcium but lower than the content from the previous three that I just talked about, and also they have other nutrients that clash with the absorption of calcium. So these could be considered secondary sources of calcium, and you need to eat a lot more of them to get the same amount. So I will tell you top 3 sources. One is green leafy vegetables like broccoli, bok choy, silver beet, kale, spinach. These are great and relatively high in calcium. 2 is peas and beans like chickpeas or black beans, and then edamame beans. They are great as well. 3 is nuts and fruits like almonds, dried figs, and dried apricots. They will give you good calcium sources as well. And you will find that there are food that are fortified with calcium, like breakfast cereal, some breads, and some juices. Another one is tofu. So if tofu is part of your diet, I would encourage you to have tofu, because that will give you good calcium source. But make sure that it's made with calcium. It's calcium set tofu. So if you look in the ingredients list of your tofu that you buy, so it should say something like calcium sulfate or E516, that shows that it's made with calcium. So 100 to 150 grams of that tofu will give about the same amount of calcium as a glass of milk. And of course you can also have supplements, but really they could interfere with other medication, and it comes in large doses, so you really want to consult your doctor before you take calcium supplements. But again, we encourage you to have it from food sources, but if you really don't have enough of them, you can go for supplements. Now, so how much calcium do we need? In Australia, the recommendation for women from 19 to 49 years of age is 1,000 milligrams of calcium a day. And for women over 50 years of age is 1,300 milligrams a day. So there's an information sheet from Healthy Bones Australia that shows the amount of calcium in each of the common foods found in Australia, and I've shared that link in the description box below. And I'm also sharing the link to Healthy Bones Australia for more information. So here are 3 take-home messages that I want to leave with you today. 1. As we age, especially for us women who are going through menopause or after menopause, the pace of bone loss is much quicker. 2, losing bone density means that we are at higher risk of breaking our bones, especially in our older ages. 3, to strengthen your bones from the nutrition perspective, eat a variety of calcium-rich foods. Now, one extra message that I want to give is that for some cultures, like Asian diets, we don't eat that much calcium-rich foods. So I want to encourage you to keep that in mind and incorporate that into your daily eating habits. If you have any questions, please leave comments below. And please also share this video if you find this helpful for someone you know or for yourself. And don't forget to like and subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you. See ya.